housekeeping notes. Porta John's up front. This is an active construction site, so please mind your feet. There will be opportunities for small tours after the programming is finished, so please wait to be guided around before wandering around the building. And again, thank you everyone. My name is O.G. Alexander. I am the CEO of People's Housing Plus. Welcome. Thank you for braving what was torrential downpours and now torrential humidity to be here with us this afternoon. This is a familiar place. It feels like we are continually standing in the shadow of this great building, talking about this amazing project. If you'll indulge me, the first time we were here, it was to announce the creation of PH Plus, which was the merger of three great New Orleans-based affordable housing CDCs. We actually won the award for this building as Home by Hand. So Home by Hand, Crescent City Community Land Trust, Tulane Canal Neighborhood Development Corporation. The rain we had this morning actually happened during the programming of that event. Most recently, we stood out in front and we were urging most of y'all to vote yes to housing and the passage of our Housing Trust Fund. I am very proud of, yes, everyone give themselves a round of applause. I'm very proud of all of our efforts, everyone who was involved. I want to give a big thank you to the voters of the city of New Orleans for saying yes to housing and passing this dedicated housing resource so that we can stand up here and celebrate more projects like this in perpetuity. But we're here today to celebrate another significant milestone in the life of this building that has sat vacant for decades, and that is, and bringing us one step closer to putting this building back into service to the community, and that is the commencement of construction of the project that we affectionately call the Louisiana Firehouse. This project consists of 7 permanently affordable rental housing units upstairs and an early childhood development center downstairs, addressing 2 of the city's most urgent needs. We like to talk about this project being a project of firsts. It is the first project to go through the new redevelopment framework between the city of New Orleans and the New Orleans Redevelopment Authority, which you'll hear more about later. But it exhibits some really innovative thinking about how to get city assets back into commerce. It is the first cohabitation of affordable housing and early childhood development here in the city of New Orleans. And we hope this to be the first of many, because this is a model that we plan to replicate and scale. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, as we stand here 2 hours after the initial start time of this event, because we were waiting to get outside of the flood warning from rain that was a remnant of a disturbance in the Gulf of Mexico in mid-November, to highlight the fact that climate change and how heavily climate change weighs on our decision-making and our processes when it comes to real estate development. This particular building will be built to enterprise green community standards. It will be built to fortified roof standards. And where we're sitting right here, this very spot will not only be that outdoor area for the children, but it will also house all of our green infrastructure, which will provide flood mitigation for the site and for the community at large. But most importantly, this is also a homecoming, and it's a homecoming for an early childhood education provider who has roots right here in Central City, who you'll hear from as well. It may not be the largest of projects, but nonetheless, it is important and it is impactful and not very easy. And that's why we're here today. We're here today to thank many of the partners who made this project possible, and you will all get an opportunity to hear from them, and we're really excited about that. But before I move on, Do we have any elected officials present? If any elected officials, please stand up and be recognized. Councilmember Leslie Harris, this is her district. She's been a champion of our organization, this project, and the Housing Trust Fund. You'll be hearing from Councilmember Harris as well. But without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce our long-term partner and the Executive Director of the New Orleans Redevelopment Authority, Brenda Breaux.
Well, good afternoon to everyone. I want to thank you all for coming out on this wonderful day. There is a little bit of sunshine that is found its way here on Louisiana Avenue. I believe we've got a pretty packed house here today. So I'm excited about being here, but more importantly, excited about the opportunity that this firehouse will provide for the community. Many of you all have driven past this location over a number of years. You've recognized and saw that the project and the firehouse was not in service anymore, and it almost became a blight upon the neighborhood. We heard from many neighbors and council members about how do we put this firehouse back into commerce. I'm proud that the New Orleans Redevelopment Authority is part of the City of New Orleans redevelopment framework, which really allowed for the opportunity for us to put this firehouse back into commerce. That's whereby the city identified many of their surplus properties that they want to see come back in commerce, either for housing or some small-scale economic development, but really providing for public and community benefits for the community. I'm also excited about our role in creating those housing opportunities. We work with our partners at the Housing Authority of New Orleans, who will ultimately provide some project-based vouchers for this development. I highlight that and our partners with the City of New Orleans in providing for some home funding. I say all that because that sign says a constellation of partners. That cannot be more appropriate for this particular site. Our partners with Agenda for Children will likely help to expand the early childhood here at this facility. But in addition to that, the Redevelopment Authority had an opportunity to make the acquisition of this vacant lot, which wasn't part of the original project. We decided that it was important to own this particular lot with some long negotiations with the former owner. I don't know if he twisted our arm or we twisted his arm, but somebody got twisted. Nonetheless, it resulted in the Redevelopment Authority making this lot available for this project. And as a result of that, the number of early child care seats that can be provided was almost doubled. And I can't say that enough. We increased the number of early child care seats at this facility, doubling that by this mere acquisition of this site. I cannot underestimate that and the importance of that. You know, I do this work and I come up here and I don't do it alone. I do it through the leadership of my board. I have my board chairperson, Adam Stump, who's here on the second row. He gives me authority to say, you can go out and say that and do that, so I thank him. And then the support of my staff, real estate development staff led by Seth Knutson, Charlotte Giroux, who's here as the project manager. It is that constellation that is referenced there on that board that really pulls this project together. It is true partnership, painstakingly going through those levels of details and all of the funding that's associated with it. And at the end of the day, we will co-create housing, affordable, long-term housing on the upper floors and an early child care facility on the bottom floor. We are investing in our future for our community, for the generations that are to come behind us, while we're still taking care of people where they currently exist. So I think it's a great opportunity. I am so happy to be a part of that, and I can't wait till we come here for the fourth time to cut the ribbon. So I thank you all And I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce another long-term partner here with the Redevelopment Authority and also with People's Housing Plus, Michelle Wetton, Vice President and Gulf Coast Market Leader for Enterprise Community Partners. Thank you all.
Thank you, Brenda. Brenda, under your tremendous leadership, you and your team at NORA, I don't even want to guess how many years, I'm going to say 10 years, have been creatively solving problems with really terrific projects like this, and we've been really proud to work with you during that time. Speaking of creative, if there's a creative, high impact and challenging project happening, you can expect John Light and the team at Alembic to be involved. And we know People's Housing Plus for their high quality, cost effective, super efficient, and resilient single family homes across the city. And we're so happy to see OG and his team bring their skills to address the challenge of affordable, small scale multifamily rental housing as well. Councilmember Harris, another shout out for you. You championed the Housing Trust Fund, met with housing advocates and others to hear their concerns and priorities, and you're a true housing champion. We thank you for that. Enterprise, where I work, is a national organization that has a team based here in New Orleans that works to support nonprofits and other affordable housing developers. We invest in affordable housing and community facilities. We promote resilience, and we promote effective housing policy at the local, state, and federal levels. Pretty much everything we do is summed up in this one spot here. I'm here representing a larger team at Enterprise today, but none more significant than Leah Rogan, who leads Enterprise's structured finance team, who really understood the vision and impact and was all in on this project right from the beginning. Enterprise provided $6.5 million in federal New Market tax credits and a pre-development loan through HUD's Section 4 capacity building program. These are federal programs that we tend to take for granted, as are the state and city resources in this project. As has been mentioned, the New Market tax credit is one of several federal programs essential for this project coming together. I want to mention that Congressman Carter and Senator Cassidy have both been big supporters of these programs, and they are going to need our support more than ever to keep these programs going in the coming years. We are here celebrating the renovation of this building, but let's not forget and let's continue to remind our leaders at the state and federal government, including the state government, that this and others like it represents jobs and affordable child care for families, so that families can go to work and go to school and live healthy lives in this community. And speaking of jobs, next we're really thrilled to hear from a small business owner, Erica Anderson, with Inquisitive Thinkers Academy, who's going to be operating the Early Childhood Learning Center here on this site.
Good afternoon, everyone. They say public speaking is one of the biggest fears people have. But as someone who works with kids, I can tell you nothing is scarier than a 2-year-old with a marker in their hand and no paper in sight. Thank you all for taking the time to join us here today for such a groundbreaking, monumental moment. My name is Erica Anderson with Inquisitive Thinkers Learning Academy, the early learning center chosen to operate at the ground floor of this historic firehouse. Before I go any further, I would like to firstly give thanks and glory to God. I would also like to thank providers, our city's own early childhood trailblazers, Ms. Rochelle Wilcox with Wilcox Academy, Ms. Christy Givens with Kids of Excellence, and my business mentor and coach, Ms. Monique with Carly Care Kids. A huge special thanks to John, Nicole, and Mike with Olympic for all their work, help, and diligence in the revitalization of the Firehouse project. Just a little backstory about me. My journey in early childhood started a little over 10 years ago as an early childhood teacher, but my passion for teaching goes back to my childhood. My mother worked as an early childhood director, and I'm standing here the product of the early childhood experience and know firsthand the benefits that an early start has on the future of educational success. I also bear witness to the tireless work it takes watching my mother struggle to make ends meet with minimum wage. Battles I too faced as a teacher early in my career. After I had my daughter right here in Central City, I struggled to find quality, affordable childcare in conjunction with suitable housing. We lived right up the street in a 3-bedroom shotgun on Toledano, walking distance from this site. Due to rising rent costs and unforeseen circumstances, we had to move. After some time teaching and trying to make ends meet, I decided during the pandemic to venture out into starting a center of my own. I initially wanted to come back and start a center in this community. However, due to the high costs which forced us out before, I wasn't able to afford it. So I went to Jefferson Parish and opened up Inquisitive Thinkers Learning Academy. Now, in a full circle moment, and because of the affordable project that Almbic and the partners has provided, I'm able to come back and continue the vision. The firehouse that once housed community heroes will now be a place that will help educate the future leaders of our city. Also, with 7 affordable housing units on the 2nd floor. This project is more than just buildings. It's about addressing critical gaps in our community. By bridging the need for affordable housing and accessible childcare, we're creating a foundation where families can thrive. At the heart of this vision is our commitment to ensuring fair wages for teachers who will shape the lives of our youngest learners. These educators deserve recognition and compensation that reflects the vital role they play. By bringing these elements together under one roof, we're not just meeting immediate needs, we're building a sustainable model for the future of Central City. This is a strong start to creating a community where families and educators are supported and where children have the opportunity to reach their full potential. Together, we are building more than structures. We're building a future of hope and possibility. Thank you all very much. And next, I would like to introduce Ms. Leslie Harris with New Orleans City Council.
See, I said, why are you going to put me behind Erica? Why do that to me? Okay. Well, listen, this is my 3rd time at this site, and as Brenda and everybody alluded to, the first time was very rainy, our hair was blowing in the wind, and so we have come full circle to this groundbreaking here today. My name is Leslie Harris. I'm the council member for District B, and I have made it my mission to ensure affordable housing for the citizens of New Orleans. I want to, thank you. As Eric has said, we are losing population to Jefferson Parish. We are losing jobs to Jefferson Parish. We're losing businesses to Jefferson Parish, and we should not do that. A lot of the reason why we're losing these businesses, people, and other amenities is because of the high housing costs in the city of New Orleans. We know from the city study that we need almost 50,000 additional affordable rental units to meet current needs in the city. And we know that people are increasingly cost burdened by insurance costs and other costs here in the city. So I do want to thank the partners who are listed here today and all of the voters for voting for the Housing Trust Fund Charter Amendments. 75% of the voters voted for it, which is insane, so thank you. And what that charter amendment does is dedicate 2% of the city's budget to affordable and workforce housing opportunities, both rental opportunities and home buying opportunities. And I'm proud to partner and have been on the campaign trail with Damon Burns and our fearless leader, Brenda Burrow of NORA, who really helped to campaign for the Housing Trust Fund. So I just want to thank you both personally again. And there is a happy hour tonight if y'all want to attend that. Again, I am here just to thank my community partners, People's Housing Plus, NORA, Alembic Community Development, Cure Studios, and CDW Enterprises, which is a Black-owned business. And I want to highlight the fact that not only are we here in Central City, not only has this project put so many partners together, but we're also using minority disadvantaged business to build a property that is just going to be phenomenal once it's finished. So thank you again to CDW Enterprises. This could not have happened without public, government, and private investment. And I would love to introduce Richard Montgomery, the managing partner of Enhanced Capital's Impact Real Estate team, who is the private portion of this project. Thank you all.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for having us. My name is Richard Montgomery, and I am with Enhanced Capital Partners. We are a impact investment firm that focuses on climate, real estate, and small business finance. We are headquartered in New York, but our principal satellite and largest office is here in downtown New Orleans, so it's always terrific and extra special when we get to help finance projects like this in New Orleans and come to these amazing groundbreakings. We participated in the state new markets, partnered with the folks in Enterprise who did the federal new markets, and then we also did the federal historics. We've been doing new markets and historics in New Orleans really since Hurricane Katrina. They were critical federal programs to help rebuild the city, and it's great to see that almost 20 years later they're still being used to help finance projects like this. And since we're involved in the finance component, I just wanted to touch on something that I think is sometimes overlooked. It's just how difficult it is to get projects like this financed. You know, we do these deals and you look at the sources and uses after, and it's just amazing. It's kind of mind-blowing when you look at, you know, one, you're doing federal, state new markets, federal, state historics. Those are very complicated, structured finance programs, and within that, you are bundling all these sources of capital. So yes, there's private capital, but also I think this project alone had 5 different sources of grant dollars. So you know, folks from state DQ or the city, you know, so state and local grant dollars. So when you try to bundle, get the fire truck, go by, try to bundle all that capital and close it within very complex structures, it's just amazing. And so I want to congratulate Alembic and then People's Housing Plus for actually getting this financing done. Also want to congratulate NORA, another great project where you're getting these properties that need to be redeveloped into the hands of private developers to get done. So with that, I want to thank you all for having us, congratulate everyone involved, and also say good luck to the folks at Alembic and others that have to now, you know, do the harder work of getting it rehabbed, and good luck with operations.